Welcome back to Move to Philly. It's Christopher Plant here, and we're introducing today Jack Stroman. Jack is a longtime resident of Philadelphia who also lived in Brooklyn for a long time, practiced real estate up here for many years, and is now coming back to Philadelphia, and he's going to be joining the Move to Philly team. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing pretty good, Chris.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your time here in Brooklyn? You were up here practicing real estate for a couple of years?
I was. I moved to Brooklyn approximately 2009, 2010, somewhere around there, and moved to Park Slope, where we're at right now, and had the great fortune of being hired by Jesse Temple and Scott Morrow. Great agency. I was able to learn quite a bit from these guys. It was a nice way to get introduced into the business,
right,
and really learn the business. I really enjoyed my time up there in Brooklyn. It was fantastic. Kind of got thrown to the wolves a bit learning the real estate. The market here is obviously a little bit different than the
bananas, right?
It's just crazy, as you know.
Yeah, well, we're standing right here in front of the window, and there are homes here, 8.7. Okay, then you've got another one here, 2.3. You have a lot of like big, tall single families. You have a lot of buildings that have been broken up into condominiums, and this neighborhood is very similar to a Fittler Square, to a Rittenhouse, to Graduate Hospital, Fairmount, Society Hill, maybe some parts of Old City, but obviously the values are 3-4 times what they would be in Philadelphia. So when you were living here, what were some of the reasons that you decided that you wanted to come back to Philadelphia?
Moving back to the East Coast, moving to Brooklyn, the opportunity arose, and we took it. Moving back to Philadelphia now is exciting. You know, after, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia, South Jersey, and coming back to the city right now when it's so exciting, so much going on in the city right now.
There's definitely a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely, and we spoke about this probably 5-6 years ago, before I joined you, and as you know, the money, your dollar is a lot longer in Philadelphia. And I think people who, especially the transplants that are here in Brooklyn, a lot of people aren't born and raised in New York. They're transplants from wherever they're from, internationally, nationally, they move here, and I think reality sets in of how expensive it is, and then they start looking at a place like Philadelphia, which is 2 hours away, hour and a half away, depending on which transportation you take. And you can get a house or an apartment, depending on if you want to be downtown or if you want to be in the suburbs with trees and grass. It's a lot more affordable. And I think people are taking that leap.
People come here and, at one point or another, they can afford to live here. But, as they start to get older, they start to have kids, they start to think about their future, planning and that sort of thing. These prices don't always feel realistic. And I think we're seeing a lot of people who are just opting out of this. I mean, even as we were setting up for this interview, our car's double parked across the street. We couldn't find a spot, so.
Keep an eye on it.
I know, I'm keeping an eye on it.
It's the Brooklyn way.
Yeah, exactly. So, but just to wrap up here, you practice real estate in Brooklyn. You got your chops in a pretty tough, pretty brutal market, and you're looking to kind of capture some of the connections that you've previously had in Philadelphia and do, practice real estate down there.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to join your team and to come back to Philadelphia. And, I know quite a few people in the area, and I think that hasn't changed, and I'm hoping that will translate. Like you said, I was able to get my chops up here where the market's a lot tougher and the houses are a lot more expensive, and I think that's going to translate well into Philadelphia. I'm going to be able to help people.
All right, well, thanks very much, Jack.
Thanks.
We're going to visit a couple more places in Brooklyn and get a better feel for what your life was like when you were here.
And get some pizza.
Yeah.